guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. I've just taken a little bit of time out from work today in the sim to talk about quite a extensive topic, and a lot of questions I get asked over Facebook as well is how do you deal with stress and pressure? Now that's a very, very big subject, and stress and pressure can be in many areas, in the flying environment and also in the outside environment as well when you're not flying. But it's learning to deal with those stress and pressures as a pilot and turning the stress and pressure into good stress and pressure. Now, when I was in flight training, I had to learn this. I found this very hard. I was somebody who let the pressure and let the stress build very easily, and it took quite a long time in flight training to actually learn to adapt and actually say to myself, right, well, I have pressure, I have stress in my life, but I've got to deal with it. Like my dad always used to say, you know, if there's something wrong, it's simple, you have to deal with it. And, you know, that is very important, especially in a flight deck environment and in any aviation environment, especially when you're handling passengers. So, yeah, you can do your best as an individual to try and block out the stress and pressure, but it's important that at the end of the day you are human and you have to display these behaviours. Now, when you're flying, this can affect your performance, and that can be a bad thing, and what you're wanting to do is you having to learn to accept that, okay, I'm going through a bad time, this is what I'm faced with, how do I deal with it, and move forwards and keep moving forwards. It's just one of those things you have to do. Also as well, you have to take into account that if it is external pressure, such as at home as well, you have to do your best to try and not let that transfer into your flight training or the flight deck environment. Now that's hard, it's a very hard skill to do, and I'm going to be honest, even, you know, the biggest professionals out there with a lot of hours under the belt, you'll find, because human instinct just naturally will take over regardless of your experience if you're feeling stressed or pressured. So try to manage that in, you know, the environment when you're flying. It's a very, very good skill to learn. When I was doing, as an example, my instrument rating, the pressure was so high, and I can remember going in formally sessions with the instructor and sitting down with my instructor and actually saying, you know, I'm struggling, I really, really am struggling. I'm finding it hard, it's a new way of flying, I don't know how I'm going to get through. And I always remember him saying, at the end of the day, it is the choices in life you make to carry on or to stop what you're doing, but you must keep pulling through, no matter the cost, no matter the pressure or stress. You've got to find it in yourself as a human and an individual to keep going and keep pushing through. And you'll find if you do that and you do get through, you make it and you succeed, then it is the greatest feeling in the world. And it's a very, very good skill to learn, and it's something that's built over the years. When you start from day one, private pilot's license, and look all the way through flight training and what you're having to deal with, the task, the management that's involved, the financial pressure, the pressure down to yourself is an absolutely huge thing. And getting to the end of that training, knowing that, you know, you did it and you actually did the training, you overcome the barriers, you overcome the fears, and, you know, you listen to the people out there that told you couldn't do it, is a massive achievement. And people who are watching this video, the thing to take into account that this does not come overnight. It's not a 5-minute job. And what I mean by this is you're going to hit barriers, you're going to hit failures, you're going to keep getting knocked down, but you've got to keep getting back up and keep going. When it comes to the time that you go for your job or you go for an interview, and you can really sit down at that interview and say to, you know, those people who are interviewing you, you know, I failed at this point, however, I identified this, I know where I went wrong, and I got back up and I carried on, no matter the cost. And that there, the ability to carry on and motivate yourself and motivate the others around you to carry on, is a great trait, being a pilot. Something I wasn't good at, it took me so long to learn it, and it was just one of those things. So yeah, the moral of the story is you will struggle. It may sound blunt, but these are the things that you have to deal with. The pressure will build, you know, and it's something you have to manage. You will get there. The more you persevere, the more you carry on, you will get there in the end. So I thought I'd do the shoot today in the 737 environment. As you can see, there's quite a lot of buttons and switches around today. Even looking in this environment, you know, if you've never been in a flight deck environment, straight away, naturally, your instinct is to think, you know, if you're doing a type rating, how on earth do I learn all this? Straight away, that pressure will come to mind. But it's learning to accept that and saying, okay, you know, this flight deck environment is brand new for me. However, how can I use my experience in the past and adapt it to this brand new environment? And this will take perseverance, and this will take a lot of work, but I'm going to do it no matter the cost. Okay, so I hope today that it's just give you a little bit of a better insight to, you know, if you are going through a hard time at the moment, you're struggling financially, things aren't going well. There is a famous saying out there that I found very interesting, and you must take into account. Remember, planes take off into the wind, alright? And they're always against the wind, they're always fighting forwards, alright? It's quite a nice saying that. It kind of takes into account that you are fighting against that wind, that pressure, you know, that fear, you know, and you're going to keep going, and in the end you'll take off and you'll succeed what you want to be in life. Alright, so thanks again for tuning in. I'm going to keep these videos coming when I have gaps like this, because I'm very, very busy. I've got, you know, a very, very busy timetable, so I will try and keep these videos coming the best I can. But thank you for tuning in. You can keep following me on The Aviationist on Facebook. Just type it into the search and give us a like. You can also catch me on Instagram under Aviationist01, all lowercase. And finally, you can also hit the like and subscribe button. The more subscribes, the more likes I get, the more, you know, it benefits the channel and also benefits you guys to keep these videos going as well. So thank you for tuning in. I wish you all the best, and remember, keep pushing on, keep going. You will get better the more you go along. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.